Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks and a bit of a guide on how to improve your lap time here in the British circuit of Donington Park. Now we're choosing the BMW M1000RR with Scott Redding since he's at home, and I'm going to try and show you with the controller overlay how to do the best possible lap you can do here. I'm going to show you a couple of lines and a few corners. The latter stage of Donington does catch me off guard a couple of times, but it's going to catch you off guard as well. But you can try different lines and you can try different tactics and techniques on how to tackle this circuit. So a quick update to the right hand side, you'll see the controller overlay. Pretty simple. Right trigger is acceleration, you can see how much is being pressed by the gauge as it fills up blue. Left trigger is the front brake, R1 is the downshift, square button is my rear brake, and triangle is the upshift. So with everything mentioned, you can feast your eyes on both the rider and the controller overlay to get a good feeling of how much pressure is being applied to each button and how much angle of analog stick is being pushed, to try and get a good understanding of how I'm tackling this circuit. So into the final corner, into Goddard, you can see a lot of brake going on here for the 11th corner in Donington as we now bring on the power quite gently and then upshift as quick as we can. If you don't upshift too late there, you'll probably get the most amount of speed, but upshift there quite early and you won't spin up the rear and you won't wheelie. The BMW really does like to wheelie, so consider changing the electronic settings. I've got mine at the moment, as you can see in the bottom right corner of your screen. TCS at 2, anti-wheelie 3, engine brake 3, and power setting 3. So coming out of the Craner curve, you want to brake quite early here for the right hand side for the old hairpin. I did downshift a few times into first gear to test the water, but I would recommend against. Try and stay in second gear for the old hairpin and moving into turn 5 and then to Schwantz curve and then all the way up here into McLean's. You can change the gears as you go. But from turn 4, stay in second gear. I did find that a better tactic, which you will see towards the last stages of this video. But now to the right hand side, a corner that is going to catch me off guard quite a few times and will do for yourself as well, but brake nice and early here just as you reach the rev limiter into 5th gear. Brake nice and calm and in control for the Fog TS's, and then get the change direction and bring on the power, bring on the upshift, and hopefully you'll get out of that corner scot-free. Now braking near the final bollard there to the left hand side, it's more of a advertisement board, let's say. Use that as your advantage and know when to brake. Go brake between those and you should be alright. Brake near that white line to the right hand side there in Goddard's and you should tackle this 11th corner. But we'll start breaking things down now after we get across the line. I'm going to change the tyres. We were using the SCX tyres, but I would like to use the development tyres just to get a good feeling and understanding of the differences between the tyres. I do know that the development tyre is a little bit better upon the traction coming out of corners, and I do feel that's where I need to improve upon. So keep it over to the right hand side here for Hollywood and get the change direction as that rumble strip ends. Go into the Craner curves quite hot and then start braking in the old hairpin. Staying in second gear as mentioned earlier, much better upon the exit. Keep it in nice and tight for Starkey's Bridge. Run it a little bit deeper here towards the rumble strip and bring it back in. And as you hit the apex of Schwantz curve, start braking in. It's a bit of an angle brake there, so you mustn't, and I repeat, you must not lock the brakes there and try and change over with the bike, because if you lock the brakes there and try and turn, you're just going to crash. The bike will stick effectively and just launch you over the bike. So be very careful there. Brake gradually and brake in control. Don't be firm on it and just give it everything you've got, because it's just going to stick in the ground and throw you off. So be very careful for the Schwantz curve. Well, now look over to the left hand side, you've got those Pirelli signs, you see which ones I mean. You can brake between those or at the latter stage, and then it'll get you into the Melbourne loop with just enough of a speed difference to still give you some extra boost coming out of the corner, and then also to stop the bike, because it's a very difficult corner. Going downhill braking is never easy, and here in Donington Park with a lot of undulation, it is going to be difficult. But across the line, we are going to improve our lap time, and that is now my fastest lap here in Donington, but braking firm for Redgate near the pit lane exit. We're going to go into Redgate and now bring on the power. Upshift as you can, keep it at roughly the 4th gear here. Find that gives you enough amount of speed and also gives you enough manoeuvrability with the BMW to really push it over to the right hand side, and then for the left for the old hairpin, and then for the right for the exit of the old hairpin. So into Starkey's Bridge, running it deep once again. Keep it in nice and tight in 5th gear. Don't reach 6th gear, you don't really need to go into the 6th gear for this time around, but now into McLean's. Bring on the power and brake nice and early for Coppice. I'm going to brake well before the curb there on the left hand side. You can see the curb just about to reach, and then finally we start braking. If you brake on the curb or a little bit later than the curb, you will not make Coppice, and very, very important to get that corner, because going into the fastest part of the track you need to have a good amount of speed, otherwise you're going to lose a dramatic ton. So be careful going into Coppice and make sure you get that right. If you get that right, you get the rest of the lap wrong. So into the Melbourne loop, same spot, braking once again near the Pirelli sign, but now bringing out the power. Keep an eye on the right hand side there, see that patch of tarmac there that separates the grass and the rumble strip? Use that as a guide on when to start braking into Goddard's. It usually suits me pretty well every single time, and I do recommend that spot for everyone to use. So final couple of laps now coming in, guys. I've got the SC1, I've got the development tyre. I did swap over with the SC0, but I found the lap times weren't really that good, so I'm going to stay with the development tyre. So into Hollywood we'll go. Keep it into the right hand side here. Nice smooth acceleration. You can see how it was gently pressed at the exact moment of how we need to push it in, but now braking into the old hairpin. Lost a little bit of time by being a little bit too tentative on the brakes, but you can never be too casual or too cautious when you're just learning the track. So I advise you guys to focus on learning the track, learning the braking markers before trying to set ridiculous lap times. But now as we approach Coppice, braking well before the rumble strip to your left hand side there. Keep it in as tight as you can, still holding a nice amount of brake as we go into the 8th corner, but now bringing on the power. Gradually move the analog stick into its natural position so we can keep on pushing into maximum speed. Now braking into the foggy S's, keep it over to the left hand side, get the change direction, quick upshift into 2nd, and then you can power out of that corner with ease. But here into the Pirelli signs, going to brake a little bit late here. I'm going to try the wider line. Didn't want to go that particular wide, but we're going to try it anyway, and just to see if it's worth and a viable option, but it doesn't look like it. We're braking firm into Goddard's. Going to try and go for the tighter apex here, run it deep. We'll certainly try and improve that next time around, but still not a bad lap time. So you can go wide as Melbourne loop, but you do lose a bit of time. So for the final lap tonight, I'm going to give it some welly, and hopefully I can improve upon my lap time. So braking at the end of pit lane there, now into Redgate, keep it in as tight as you can. Let the bike run wide towards the curbs. Go into the right hand side for Hollywood, keep it in, keep it in, keep it in as much as you can. Get that change of direction nice and early to get the bike swung over to the crane of curves. Start braking in, dropping it down to 2nd gear, keep it in tight, bring on the power, swing it over to the right hand side, then back over to the left for Starkey's Bridge. Move over towards the wider part of the track and then back in. Start braking gently into the Schwantz curve. You can see the analog stick, how much is being pushed over. You can see the braking as well with the left trigger. Braking early for Coppice, keeping it in, keeping that brake applied to the very end almost, as you then get onto the power for Coppice, or at least escaping Coppice for turn 8. Bring on the power, keep an eye on the rumble strip there. Once you get close to it, roughly a couple of meters away, start braking in, nice and gradual. Keep it in tight to the foggy S's, upshift into 2nd gear, fire out to the corner. Keep an eye on the Pirelli sign, start braking here just before you reach the final braking marker, and keep it in to the middle of the circuit. Keep it in as much as you can, and don't let the bike wheelie. Upshift if you have to, keep the bike pushing, brake at the tarmac here on the right hand side, and keep it in as much as you can for the final corner here in Goddard's. We'll bring on the power, quick upshift to 2nd, quick upshift to 3rd, and across the line, that is at 1:24.767. So guys, I do hope this video has helped you. If it has, let me know in the comments section down below. If you want to see more just like this, let me know, and of course be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. So thanks for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.